Hey friends, this is TIAVI TV coming at you. I wanted to give you a little inspiration today. I'm going to read to you. How about that? We're going to read a book called The Gifts and Ministries of the Holy Spirit by Lester Sumrall. And this chapter, this thing just jumped out at me last night. I picked up this book in a pile of books I had, and I read this part, and it was so cool. I think this is a new little thing we're going to start doing, where I just read some encouraging things that I find that the Holy Spirit just leads me to. So this is a great story. I love stories. I love true stories of God's power, and it inspires me, and it'll inspire you. This is on page 185, The Working of Miracles. Once while in Java, we went to a village in which everyone, including the mayor, was a Christian. We found that it was a city of refuge. If a person was persecuted in some other village, he could go there to live in peace and security. In fact, most of the people living there were refugees who had come seeking escape from persecution. It had all begun with a Dutch girl who very innocently had gone to this place to preach. After a few days of listening to her preach, the witch doctor came to her and told her to leave. When she refused to go, he explained why. He wanted, I got to turn the page, it's a page turner. I got to do this with one hand. So we got a witch doctor and a young missionary girl. Okay, here we go. Let me get this page. He wanted her out of the village. He said, I am the witch doctor here, and I was here first. It's not proper for two of us to be in the same territory. The girl told him, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not into witchcraft as you are. I serve the living God who is in heaven. I know nothing about that, the man answered. I have heard you talking about miracles, and I am in charge of such things here. That is my job, so you will have to go. When the young lady refused, the witch doctor challenged her to a public contest with the understanding that the loser must pack up and leave. The girl agreed, not really knowing what she was getting into. The plot thickens. A public contest between the two was set to take place 3 days later. The girl did not know that the witch doctor was planning to spend those 3 days fasting and in prayer to the devil. Yes, the witch doctors fast and pray to the devil, which he did. She went about her usual business without much thought of what she was facing. They met together for the contest on a platform before the whole village. The witch doctor versus the lady missionary. The witch doctor announced to the crowd that they were about to have a showdown to decide who was to stay and who was to leave. The village would belong to the strongest power. The girl agreed, still not really knowing what the witch doctor had in mind. So they're having a showdown. Whoever wins gets to stay and rule the city here. So he asked her, do you want to go first? No, she answered, you go ahead. That was a mistake. He lay down on the wood floor, and within 1 minute, his whole body became stiff as death. Then it gravitated, floating about ankle high. So he's floating off the ground in front of this little missionary girl. When it reached knee high, it just rested there. Remember, this is a witch doctor. His eyes were closed. His body was straight as a board. Needless to say, the girl was scared. She was scared. There she was, a simple missionary girl talking about Jesus, and here was a witch doctor, the village witch doctor, floating knee-high from the ground. She thought, well, Lord, it looks like as if I'm about to leave town. I'll be leaving town. And she was standing there looking at the man. She prayed, Lord, what should I do? I came here to preach. The Lord answered, get him down. So the Lord answered and said, get him down. But Lord, how can I do that? Knock him down. Lord, how should I knock him down? Put your foot on him. So the little woman walked over to the floating witch doctor, placed her foot on his stomach, and pushed him to the floor. Isn't that cool? Then the Lord said, tell that unclean spirit to come out. She screamed, come out of him, you unclean spirit. The witch doctor went into a convulsion, then woke up. The first thing he said was, where am I? He had become so full of the devil that he had no idea where he was or how he got there. The missionary girl said to him, all these people came to see who was the most powerful. Now, are you ready to receive Jesus as Lord? Yes, he answered. She led him in the sinner's prayer, and he gave his heart to Jesus. Then she asked him, do you want the Holy Spirit? It's good so far, right? Well, let's turn one more page. We got time here to finish it out. Eat your popcorn. Here, let me take a drink of my drink. Energy drink this morning before church. Okay, here we go. We'll finish up the story. He said, I want everything you have. She said, he said, I want everything you have, because he saw the power of Jesus and the Holy Spirit. She laid hands on him, and he received the infilling of the Holy Spirit right there before the group of people. After the meeting, he said, I don't want you to leave. So she said, and that's the same one that threatened to make her leave. All right, let's have our own city, she said. He told her, you be top administrator and I'll be the mayor. Together they chose the rest of the organization for the city. Our party stayed there for several days, and it was one of the happiest communities I have ever seen. That witch doctor had the power to float, but it was not God's power. It was a counterfeit, and God's power superseded it. Remember that. You have power that supersedes the power of the enemy. Jesus is greater, and he's given you a greater authority in his name and his power. When he died, he left you with the keys. He left you with his name. He left you with authority. Do not be afraid, just like this little missionary girl. Ooh, shatakarhinama. We're going to stop there. I love you guys. This is just a little inspirational story, and I'll keep bringing these to you. If you like it, please push like, subscribe, leave comments so I know that you like it, and we'll keep doing it. Talk to you guys soon. You were tuned in, and you still are tuned in to TIAVI TV.